What I'm going to turn to next is three individual families of languages. That means that each one of these families is separate and unique, even though I'm putting them all together. The reason is because, first of all, they're going to fill in some blanks from what we've looked at with the Indo-European family of languages. And then in addition to that, they aren't as widely spread. They tend to be a bit more concentrated than the Indo-European family of languages. They're a little bit smaller, even though there are a lot of speakers. So I think because of that, I can put them all together and we can just look through them as three individual families, but in one single lecture. Keep this in mind that if you spoke an Indo-European language, like I'm speaking English right now, and you tried to learn a language that is outside of the Indo-European family of languages, you are basically starting over from point one, from letter A, from whatever you want to call it, from the very beginning. The grammar is going to be different. The vocabulary is going to be different. If you spell in the language, the way you spell or the types of characters you use will in many cases be different. So you really change the game when you switch from one family to another family. So any of these three that I'm going to look at right now, if you were only an English speaker and you wanted to learn them, you are basically beginning over. I will tell you this though, in my experience, there are four words that tend to cross over into most languages in some way. They at least sound similar in most languages. Do you know what those four words are? I'll wait. Two of them are drinks, okay? No, not Coca-Cola. Of course that switches over. It's just Pepsi. Not that. Come on. They're both warm drinks, at least in most cases. So one of them is coffee. The other one is tea. Okay. Now there are two other words. Both of these can actually go into coffee. One of those is sugar, and then the other one is chocolate. So those four words, weirdly enough, tend to cross over into many, many different languages and across language families. It's kind of a trip that those are the four words, but it is. If you speak any other languages besides English, just think about what those four words are in the other language or languages that you speak. So let's take a look at it. Here we go. The first is the Uralic family of languages. Does this come from the Ural Mountains? Is that where they originated from? It really kind of indicates that that's probably the case. The Ural Mountains run through kind of the western part of Russia. Here we have this beautiful tree that we've looked at now, but there's really two trees, right? Down in the bottom right, as you can see where I circled it, we have the Uralic family of languages. And you can see that there are really kind of three branches to this. But I'm not going to hold you to that. I'm just going to hold you to the languages themselves. If you look carefully, you can see that Hungarian is going to be one of them, Finnish is another one, Estonian, and then you can see this other very, very small language. So the Uralic family of languages includes Hungarian, which is really known as Magyar. It's not pronounced Magyar, it's Magyar, like being mad, yar, okay? So it's pronounced Magyar, which is Hungarian. Finnish, which is, of course, spoken in Finland, and Estonian, which is spoken in Estonia. Take a look at this map. I have now circled where you tend to find the Uralic languages. You can see Finland, Estonia, then parts of Russia, and then down where Hungary's at, and then in the western part of Romania. Here's the second family. See how quickly this is going? This is called the Altaic family of languages. Remember, even though I'm putting the Uralic family and the Altaic family and one more family together, these languages are different from each other. The Altaic family is different from the Uralic family. So you can see on this other version of a language tree, I've got the Altaic languages pointed out, and they include Turkish, Azerbaijani, so these are tying directly together with actual countries, Uyghur, which is spoken in the western part of China, Kazakh, that would be from Kazakhstan, and Mongolian. There, I've got them circled for you. Okay. And then this shows the spread of these languages. So they're kind of widely spread. They aren't necessarily spoken by lots and lots and lots of people, It's not like the Indo-European languages, but you can see that they're pretty widely spread. Now, one thing I want to point out to you is this, where I just circled. So Japanese and Korean and Ainu, which are the languages I've spoken, these are really generally seen as other families. So I don't want you to include them as being part of the Altaic family. And then last, we have the Dravidian family of languages. Got it circled there. You can see the languages. And although there's more than these are the ones I want you to know. Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam. Now these are the languages of South Asia. That's what we find in Southern Asia, at the southern part of the Indian subcontinent. If you recall, I told you that in the northern part of India, you have the Indo-Aryan group of the Indo-Iranian branch of the Indo-European family of languages. And I pointed out, well, what happens in southern India, the southern part of the Indian subcontinent, the southern part of South Asia? Well, what happens is this is where the Dravidian languages are at. So in India, not only are there lots and lots of languages, there are two massive language families there, which makes it even more complex of a linguistic landscape.